Brady Deaton is a professor in the Department of Food, Agricultural and Resource Economics at the University of Guelph, and he also holds the McCain Family Chair in Food Security. His research focuses on land resources in food production, economic development, and environmental quality. I am pleased to invite Dr. Deaton to give the convocation address.
Graduates, I pray that your journey is a long one. It's my great pleasure and honor to be with you here today. Congratulations. Congratulations to the friends and the family that are all gathered here today. You are all such an important part of this day. And let me say that there are those who cannot be here with us today, perhaps because they couldn't make it, perhaps because they are no longer with us. They too dreamed of this day, and I want to give great congratulations to them. And congratulations to my fellow faculty and staff. This is a celebration for us all. Now, graduates, I pray that your journey is a long one, but I promise that my remarks here today will be short. I want to focus my remarks to what I believe will be one of your greatest challenges: keeping the main thing the main thing. Let me say that again. It is a challenge to keep the main thing the main thing. Now, what is the main thing will, of course, differ for each of us. In a minute, I'm going to talk about the importance of relationships with the people that you interact with. But whatever your main thing is, keeping it front and center will require continued self-examination and mindfulness of priorities. Fortunately, your education prepares you well for this challenge. Indeed, all of you will recognize self-examination, continual inquiry, and mindfulness as key components of your education here at Guelph. And now, like never before, you will need to build on this training. Amidst the distractions of tweeting and texting, hanging out, alternative facts, fake news, ever-breaking news, the constant distractions of retractions, and the still familiar, all too familiar refrain of "I can't get no satisfaction." Your education training stance is one of the greatest defenses against following the lesser things, of not keeping the main thing the main thing. I say this because the University of Guelph has helped prepare you to address a host of important questions that are critical to the well-being of our country and the world: food supply and food safety, food security, plant and human health, soil and seed development, environmental quality, economic development, water quality, exploring the genome, inventing new techniques and technologies. All of these are critical, and I could go on and on. But your education has not only prepared you to address issues like these, but you are prepared to stay mindful of the questions posed by the first educators, the great philosophers who believed that educational challenge was to discover what is the good life, the main thing, if you will. Almost everything will potentially distract you from this question. I want to submit to you one fundamental aspect of the main thing that I have personally struggled to stay mindful of, and that is the importance of relationships with people you know, and sometimes equally important, those you don't know in the community around you, the communities where you will work, perhaps raise a family, recreate with friends, and participate in your civic duty. To emphasize this point, I'd like to ask the graduates to stand up. Please stand up. And I'd like you to turn around and face the communities where you will work and live, and the family and friends that are sitting around you that are part of today's community. Please remain standing for a moment. Now, I'd like to ask anybody under the age of, let's say, 18, if you have a small child, parent, if you're with a small child, please stand up, to stand up. Please stand up. Yeah, stand up proud. Get in the aisle if you have to. All right? Some future February day, these children will also be commencing on a journey of their own. And between now and then, what you will do, whether you know them or not, whether it's through a great deed or a kind word, what you do will matter. Now I'd like to ask everybody to stand up, please. Everybody. Keep standing, graduates. Graduates, we all commit to this commencement with you. We're eager to see where your road and journey takes you, whether your road be straight or winding. We are eager for you to keep us posted. We are here to support you. Please keep in touch, whether it's through social media or an old-fashioned phone call. And I want to draw your attention now to the doorways and the windows, the world that you will leave today. And I want you to keep in mind the power of your interaction with people to shape them in ways that you cannot know fully, that you cannot anticipate, whether it is by a great deed or whether it is through the kind words or the everyday interactions with people. It's important to keep in mind. This will require all of your educational training, mindfulness, self-examination, and continual inquiry if we, metaphorically speaking, are to be an important part of the good life in keeping the main thing the main thing. Okay, please sit. I'll conclude on a personal note. Recently, my family and I became citizens of Canada. All right. At our swearing-in ceremony, a veteran of World War II told us about a story of his infantry as they liberated Europe. He told us that as he went through the European towns, liberating town after town, that he was surprised that his infantrymen would call out inquiring about a relative that they knew, perhaps a great uncle, a grandparent, a close friend. And it struck him as they went through these different towns and cities how different the pasts were of the infantrymen that he shared this mission with. But it also struck him how, although their pasts were very different, they shared a very common effort, and that was shaping a much better future. And I think a similar truth runs through this commencement today. You all came here from very different paths, but you leave here today with your relationships forged by the great educational opportunities provided to you by the University of Guelph. And you will shape a great future for our children, for all of us, and people that we cannot know. I pray that your journey is a long one. Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you, Dr. Deaton, for the convocation address.